If your legs feel weak, cramp easily, or struggle with endurance, it's not just about getting more protein or doing more squats. The problem often runs deeper into the micronutrient realm. Yes, your leg strength is heavily influenced by vitamin status, and deficiencies in key vitamins can silently rob your muscles of energy, coordination, and repair capacity. In today's video, we'll break down the top 7 vitamins your legs are begging for, and why getting them through whole food or the right supplements could be the game changer for your strength, stability, and mobility after 50. Let's get into it. Vitamin D3 is far more than just a bone-supporting nutrient. It's a critical hormone-like compound that influences nearly every cell in the body, especially muscle tissue. When we talk about strengthening the legs, one of the most overlooked factors is the adequacy of vitamin D3, which affects both muscular performance and neuromuscular coordination. Vitamin D3 helps regulate calcium absorption, ensuring that the mineral gets into the bones where it's needed. But what's often ignored is that calcium is not just about bone health. Muscle contraction itself depends on calcium availability. When calcium levels are off due to poor vitamin D3 status, muscle function begins to suffer. This can show up as leg weakness, shakiness, balance problems, and a slower response time when moving or standing. What's more interesting is that muscle cells actually contain vitamin D receptors, VDRs. These receptors allow vitamin D3 to directly influence gene expression in muscle tissue. This means D3 doesn't just help indirectly through calcium, it also acts directly on muscle fibers to promote growth, strength, and repair. When vitamin D3 is deficient, those receptors remain underactivated, which slows muscle regeneration and increases the risk of falls and injury, particularly in older adults. As we age, the skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight decreases. At the same time, seniors often spend less time outdoors, wear more clothing, and may have kidney or liver issues that impair the activation of D3 into its usable form. That combination leads to a high rate of vitamin D deficiency in people over 60, many of whom experience gradual leg weakness without ever connecting it to their nutrient status. Clinical studies have shown that low D3 levels are linked to poor balance, reduced lower limb strength, and increased risk of falls. Supplementing with vitamin D3, particularly in its cholecalciferol form, has been shown to improve muscle performance, particularly in the legs and hips. It doesn't work overnight, but over time, higher blood levels of D3 correlate with better muscular function, faster reflexes, and improved physical confidence. For people aiming to strengthen their legs, especially after age 50, D3 should be part of a foundational strategy. Ideally, blood levels of 25 OHD, the storage form of D3, should be monitored and optimized, not just kept above deficiency. Many functional health practitioners aim for levels between 50-70 NH/ml for optimal muscle and bone synergy. It's also important to combine D3 with magnesium and vitamin K2, as these cofactors help activate and direct calcium, preventing it from hardening soft tissues and allowing it to properly enter the skeletal structure. Without adequate magnesium, the conversion of D3 to its active form slows down and the benefits to muscle strength are diminished. Vitamin D3 can be sourced through direct sunlight, supplements, or D3-rich foods such as cod liver oil, sardines, pastured egg yolks, and fortified products. However, food sources alone are rarely enough to restore optimal levels, especially in older adults, making daily supplementation an essential tool in any leg strengthening protocol. Vitamin K2 is one of the most underappreciated nutrients when it comes to musculoskeletal health, particularly in the legs. While most people associate vitamin K with blood clotting, vitamin K2 plays a distinctly different and critical role in calcium metabolism, specifically ensuring that calcium ends up in the right places like bones and teeth and stays out of the wrong places like arteries, joints, and soft tissue. And this function is essential for maintaining leg strength and mobility, especially as we age. One of the primary mechanisms of K2 is its activation of a protein called osteocalcin, which helps bind calcium to bone. Without adequate K2, osteocalcin remains inactive, and calcium cannot properly integrate into the skeletal matrix. The result is weaker bones, especially in the hips, femurs, and knees, which support the body's weight, and they're crucial for walking, standing, and balance. At the same time, K2 activates another protein called matrix glyprotein, MGP. MGP prevents calcium from being deposited into blood vessels and soft tissues. Without enough K2, calcium can harden arteries and contribute to vascular stiffness, which restricts blood flow to the legs. This stiffness not only reduces oxygen and nutrient delivery to muscle tissue, but also causes discomfort, fatigue, and increased risk of cramps and circulatory disorders. In seniors, these calcium misplacements often go undetected until there's a loss of mobility, chronic muscle tightness, or a vascular event. K2 helps prevent this by regulating calcium's movement, sending it where it strengthens the legs and keeping it away from where it does harm. In fact, studies have shown that people with higher vitamin K2 intake have better bone mineral density and lower arterial calcification, two critical markers of long-term leg strength and stability. K2 becomes even more important when taking vitamin D3 supplements, which increase calcium absorption. Without enough K2, that extra calcium may not end up in the bones. It could deposit in soft tissues instead. That's why D3 and K2 should always be paired, especially in older adults focused on improving leg strength and reducing fall risk. Food sources of K2 are not always common in modern diets, which is part of why deficiencies are so widespread. The most potent source is natto, a fermented soybean dish rich in K2 in the MK7 form. Other good sources include hard cheeses, pastured egg yolks, grass-fed butter, liver, and fermented vegetables like sauerkraut. For those who don't regularly eat these foods, MK7 supplements offer a highly absorbable and effective option, especially for bone and vascular health. As we age, calcium balance becomes more delicate, and vitamin K2 plays the silent conductor behind the scenes, making sure the orchestra of minerals performs in harmony. For anyone over 50, particularly those struggling with leg weakness, stiffness, or reduced circulation, increasing K2 intake can be one of the most strategic and preventative actions available through nutrition. Vitamin B12 is one of the most essential nutrients for maintaining strong, functional legs, yet it's also one of the most commonly overlooked deficiencies in people over 50. B12 is critical for nerve health, red blood cell formation, and energy metabolism, all of which directly impact muscle strength, coordination, and endurance in the lower body. One of the most important roles of B12 is in maintaining the myelin sheath, the protective coating around nerves. When B12 is low, this sheath begins to degrade, leading to poor nerve conduction. In practical terms, this can result in leg numbness, tingling, unsteadiness, and even muscle weakness. Many people experience these symptoms and assume it's just aging or poor circulation, when in reality, it's a neurological deficiency rooted in a lack of B12. This vitamin also plays a key role in producing red blood cells, which are responsible for delivering oxygen to working muscles. When B12 is deficient, red blood cell production declines, leading to fatigue, reduced stamina, and poor leg endurance. This becomes especially noticeable during walking, climbing stairs, or performing resistance exercises. Without sufficient oxygen delivery, muscles simply can't perform at their peak, and recovery becomes slower after exertion. Older adults are especially prone to B12 deficiency due to several factors. As we age, stomach acid levels decline, which impairs the absorption of B12 from food sources. In addition, many seniors are on medications such as proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, metformin, or antacids, all of which can further reduce B12 absorption. Vegans and vegetarians are also at high risk, as plant-based diets lack natural B12 unless fortified. The symptoms of a B12 deficiency often develop gradually and can be mistaken for other conditions: fatigue, brain fog, muscle cramps, poor balance, and even depression. But when it comes to leg strength, the neurological effects are especially concerning. The legs may feel heavy or slow to respond, coordination may decline, and over time this can affect walking gait and increase the risk of falls. Supplementing with methylcobalamin, the active form of B12, is often more effective than cyanocobalamin, especially in people with poor absorption. Sublingual B12 or B12 injections bypass the digestive system and deliver the vitamin directly into the bloodstream, making them ideal for older adults. Regular blood testing can confirm deficiency, but symptoms alone often warrant immediate attention. B12-rich foods include grass-fed beef liver, wild-caught fish like salmon and sardines, eggs, and dairy from pastured animals. However, due to absorption challenges, even those with a meat-inclusive diet may benefit from additional supplementation to ensure optimal levels for leg function and energy. For anyone over 60 experiencing leg fatigue, weakness, or instability, vitamin B12 should be one of the first nutrients considered. It supports both muscular strength and neurological integrity, helping the legs respond, move, and recover efficiently throughout daily activity. Magnesium is one of the most essential minerals in the human body, especially when it comes to muscle health, nerve function, and recovery. Although it's technically a mineral, magnesium is often discussed alongside vitamins because of its foundational role in countless biochemical reactions. For seniors experiencing leg cramps, muscle weakness, fatigue, or restless legs, magnesium is often the missing link. This mineral plays a key role in over 300 enzymatic processes, many of which directly support muscle contraction, relaxation, and cellular energy production. Without adequate magnesium, muscles are more likely to remain in a state of tension, which leads to cramping, stiffness, and poor recovery after activity. In fact, magnesium is the mineral responsible for helping calcium enter and exit muscle cells. When magnesium is deficient, calcium remains in the muscle too long, causing tightness, spasms, and even chronic soreness. One of magnesium's most powerful effects is on the nervous system, which controls the way muscles fire and relax. Low magnesium levels can result in overexcited nerves, leading to twitching, jitteriness, and nighttime cramps, symptoms that are common in people over 60. Magnesium also supports the GABA receptors in the brain, which help promote relaxation and deep sleep. Without sufficient sleep, muscle repair is compromised, and this is especially important for older adults whose recovery time is already slower. Magnesium also plays a crucial role in supporting mitochondrial function, the energy powerhouses inside every muscle cell. Healthy mitochondria generate ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the energy currency your body uses during physical movement. When magnesium is low, ATP production declines, which leads to early fatigue, poor endurance, and slower reflexes in the legs and lower body. Over time, this can significantly affect gait, balance, and confidence in walking or climbing stairs. Unfortunately, magnesium deficiency is extremely common, especially in seniors. Factors like chronic stress, medications such as diuretics, antacids or blood pressure pills, alcohol use, and poor gut absorption all deplete magnesium levels. The modern diet, with its reliance on processed foods and mineral-depleted soil, compounds the issue. Even if someone eats a seemingly healthy diet, they may still fall short on this mineral unless they intentionally include magnesium-rich foods or supplementation. Good dietary sources of magnesium include pumpkin seeds, spinach, almonds, Swiss chard, avocado, and dark chocolate. However, because of absorption challenges in older adults, many benefit from supplementation. Magnesium glycinate is one of the most absorbable and gentle forms, making it ideal for muscle support, sleep, and nerve function without causing digestive upset. Other effective forms include magnesium malate for energy and magnesium citrate for mild constipation relief. For anyone experiencing leg cramps, tightness, or unexplained fatigue, magnesium should be among the first nutrients considered. It works synergistically with other vitamins like B6 and D3 and supports not just muscle tissue, but also the underlying neurological and metabolic systems that keep the legs strong, responsive, and pain-free. Vitamin C is often celebrated for its role in immune function, but its impact on muscular health, connective tissue strength, and leg mobility is equally profound, especially as we age. This water-soluble antioxidant plays multiple roles in maintaining structural integrity, reducing inflammation, and enhancing recovery, making it a foundational nutrient for anyone aiming to improve or preserve leg strength after 50. One of the most crucial roles of vitamin C is its involvement in collagen synthesis. Collagen is the primary structural protein found in connective tissues, including tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and blood vessels. Without adequate vitamin C, collagen production drops significantly, leading to weak connective tissues that are more prone to injury, stiffness, and instability. In the legs, this can manifest as joint pain, poor balance, and reduced strength during movements like walking, climbing stairs, or getting up from a chair. The connection between vitamin C and tendon and ligament health is especially critical. These connective structures anchor muscle to bone and are essential for transferring power during leg movements. When collagen quality deteriorates due to low vitamin C, these structures become vulnerable and the muscles must compensate, leading to overuse, tightness, or inflammation. This is particularly concerning for seniors who may already have age degeneration in joint and connective tissues. Vitamin C is also a potent antioxidant, helping to combat oxidative stress, a condition where free radicals damage cells, tissues, and even DNA. In the muscles and joints of the legs, oxidative stress can accelerate inflammation, slow healing, and contribute to chronic conditions like arthritis or peripheral vascular issues. By neutralizing these harmful free radicals, vitamin C protects the integrity of muscle fibers, blood vessels, and nerves in the lower body. Another key role of vitamin C is in iron absorption. Iron is vital for red blood cell formation and oxygen transport, both of which directly affect muscular endurance and energy. If iron is low, muscles, particularly in the legs, may fatigue quickly due to insufficient oxygen delivery. By enhancing non-heme iron absorption from plant-based sources, vitamin C supports better oxygenation of leg muscles, which improves stamina and reduces the feeling of heaviness or sluggishness. Vitamin C also aids in wound healing, tissue repair, and immune modulation, all of which are beneficial for recovery after leg workouts, injuries, or surgeries. Seniors with low levels of vitamin C often notice slower healing times, more frequent muscle soreness, and greater susceptibility to inflammation or infections in the joints and lower extremities. Foods rich in vitamin C include bell peppers, citrus fruits, strawberries, kiwi, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and leafy greens. Because it's water-soluble and not stored in large quantities, it must be consumed consistently. Cooking can degrade vitamin C, so including some raw or lightly cooked sources is ideal. For those with higher needs or poor absorption, a buffered vitamin C supplement may offer additional support without causing digestive irritation. Maintaining optimal vitamin C levels becomes even more important in older adults, where natural repair processes begin to slow and collagen breakdown outpaces production. For those experiencing weakness, joint instability, or slow recovery in the legs, vitamin C should be considered a cornerstone nutrient in both diet and supplementation. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant that plays a crucial role in muscle integrity, blood flow, and cellular protection, making it especially valuable for preserving leg strength and function after age 50. While it's often associated with skin health, vitamin E's impact goes much deeper, especially when it comes to protecting muscle fibers from oxidative stress, supporting circulation, and aiding in neuromuscular recovery. One of the primary functions of vitamin E is its role as a powerful antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals that can damage the delicate membranes of muscle and nerve cells. Muscles, particularly those in the legs that support daily movement and bear the body's weight, are prone to microscopic damage from both exercise and age wear. When oxidative stress goes unchecked, it leads to inflammation, stiffness, and slower recovery, ultimately weakening the legs over time. Vitamin E helps protect muscle tissue from this breakdown and keeps recovery time shorter. In addition to muscle protection, vitamin E significantly improves circulation and vascular flexibility. It helps maintain the integrity of blood vessel walls and prevents blood from becoming overly sticky or prone to clotting. This becomes vital in the lower extremities, where poor circulation is common in older adults. Adequate vitamin E intake supports healthy blood flow to the legs, delivering oxygen and nutrients needed for sustained strength and endurance. Vitamin E also plays an indirect yet essential role in nerve health. Since the nerves that activate leg muscles are wrapped in fat-based sheaths, myelin, and vitamin E is a fat-soluble nutrient, It contributes to the preservation of these protective layers. This keeps neural signals fast and efficient, which is critical for coordination, balance, and reflex strength. Without adequate vitamin E, the nervous system may begin to misfire, leading to slow reaction times, imbalance, or a sense of instability in the legs. Another key benefit is its impact on exercise recovery. Older individuals who incorporate walking, stretching, or resistance training into their routines often experience soreness or delayed onset muscle fatigue. Vitamin E helps reduce exercise-induced oxidative damage and supports faster muscle repair. This is particularly helpful for seniors who are trying to regain or maintain leg strength but are sensitive to overtraining or injury. Vitamin E deficiency, although less common than other nutrient gaps, can occur in older adults due to fat malabsorption issues, liver problems, or diets low in healthy fats. Symptoms of deficiency include muscle weakness, poor coordination, leg cramps, and neuropathy-like sensations. Ensuring adequate intake can help reverse or prevent these symptoms, supporting both muscular and neurological function in the lower body. The best food sources of vitamin E include sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, avocado, hazelnuts, and olive oil. Because vitamin E is fat-soluble, it's best absorbed with meals that contain healthy fats. Natural forms like D-L-methylcobalamin tend to be more bioavailable than synthetic versions. Some individuals, especially those with digestive disorders or on low-fat diets, may benefit from supplementation to maintain optimal levels. Vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, is a water-soluble vitamin that plays a vital role in energy production, nerve function, and muscle coordination. While it's not as commonly discussed as B12 or D3, thiamine is absolutely critical for maintaining strong, functional legs, especially in older adults who are more prone to deficiency due to age, absorption issues, medication use, and dietary imbalances. One of the most important roles of thiamine is its involvement in carbohydrate metabolism. Thiamine acts as a coenzyme in the process that converts glucose into usable energy, ATP, within the mitochondria. Since the muscles and the legs are large and energy demanding, any disruption in this process leads to weakness, fatigue, and poor muscular endurance. Without enough B1, the body struggles to extract energy from food, and this is often felt as early exhaustion, heavy legs, or poor exercise tolerance. In addition to energy metabolism, thiamine is essential for proper nerve transmission. It helps generate the electrical signals that travel from the brain and spinal cord to the peripheral nerves that activate the legs. When B1 levels drop, these nerve signals become slow, erratic, or even blocked. This can manifest as tingling, numbness, burning sensations, poor balance, all common issues in older adults who may unknowingly be thiamine deficient. Low thiamine levels are particularly concerning for seniors who consume high carbohydrate diets, drink alcohol regularly, or take certain medications like diuretics or metformin, all of which deplete thiamine over time. The combination of poor absorption and high demand leads to a condition known as subclinical thiamine deficiency, where symptoms are present even if blood levels appear borderline. This is especially true in individuals over 60, where chronic leg weakness or neuropathy may not be fully explained by structural or vascular issues alone. What makes thiamine unique among vitamins is how quickly symptoms can resolve once intake is corrected. Many people who supplement with thiamine, especially in its more bioavailable form, benfotiamine or thiamine HCl, notice a rapid improvement in leg sensitivity, strength, and coordination. It's not uncommon for balance and foot control to improve significantly within weeks of correcting a deficiency. Thiamine also plays a role in protecting the brain and nervous system from oxidative stress, which is a major contributor to age neuromuscular decline. By supporting healthy nerve function and mitochondrial efficiency, B1 allows the muscles, particularly in the legs, to respond more quickly, recover more completely, and function more smoothly. Good dietary sources of thiamine include pork, sunflower seeds, legumes, oats, brown rice, and leafy greens. However, B1 is easily destroyed by heat and processing, meaning that even those who eat well may not be getting enough. Seniors with digestive issues or low stomach acid, may benefit from direct supplementation to bypass absorption limitations and restore optimal nerve-muscle communication. For anyone over 50 looking to maintain strong legs, sharp motor control, and steady energy, thiamine should not be overlooked.